No.
That's the
Seems
way I
like
think of
this.
it, because that's the way, the context that it was always used in our house.
Mine's like deer stared at the headlights or what?
All right, so what are we gonna do here? We're gonna put some topo lines on, so I just real quickly, I took this, I put it into a D sheet to see what, because I'm gonna annotate, right? So I gotta know the scale. And I came up that this thing will fit on a D sheet at 1/32. So 1/32 to 1 foot. And we're gonna stick with architectural scales throughout this thing, because we're doing an architectural project. So therefore, I then was able to come up in with my 1/8" text and go ahead and put some things in. Now, a couple things I thought I needed. I put the transformer in, down to the buried cable box. I've got my phone, and then I put those elevations on these points. Now remember, we had, like when Sean faced this side, you took 30 steps, right? So approximately 100 feet. So all they did was put this offset at 100 feet and then put a piece of text that represented that elevation. Because we're not going to print this text. So we've got that. Now, what we're then going to do is we're going to analyze where this goes to where we can draw these lines. But let's get some layers that we are going to put this information on first. So let's open up your layer property box, and I would estimate we're going to make 3 layers here. And let me just go ahead and write the information up here. So what I want you to do is make a major con, and this will be continuous, and your line weight's 0.012. Make a minor con, that's short for major contour and minor contour. And again, you want this one continuous, and you want your line weight 0.006. Then I usually make a layer, and you can call it whatever you want. I call mine util for utilities. And this is continuous at 0.012 inches.
And what, color?
I don't care what the colors are. Okay, so if you would make those 3 layers. Try and make mine colors you can see. Does anybody need more time? All right, folks, in essence, what we're doing here is the same process covered by the author on pages 332 through 336. And real quickly, I'm just going to pop into page 334 just to show you how this should appear and when we're getting ready to draw. So I want to kind of look at this figure. Now, I only really want you to pay attention to two things here. Notice this thick line that's got some text rotated and put into the line. That's a major contour. They occur every fifth one. Now, this one's a bad example in that they put like 98 on there. This occurs every fifth one, so what should you put it? How about 100, 95? So you want to put it in even increment. So that's the every fifth one. Those are the only lines that are labeled. Now these thin ones in here are called minors. Those are your minors that are 006. You'll notice on this, notice that this one kind of doesn't stay parallel, but it kind of moves through okay. Well, that's kind of real life. But for you to get that kind of detail, you need to bring a surveyor into the picture. And we didn't, right? We're going to estimate. Most topo lines will always be uniform in some fashion, like right here. Notice they're kind of uniform as I come through here. In nature, that even is the case because we have erosion. Things just level out over time. The only time they don't level out is when you have nothing but rock. Anytime there's soils involved, they'll be just evenly spaced and good to go. Now, we're in a subdivision that was artificially graded. They're going to be pretty much perfectly parallel. So all we have to do is really determine our first one, and then we'll just start copying that down through. Because it's a graded piece of land. There is no erosion. There's no ridges, there's no valleys, there's no streams to break this outline up. Okay? So this is what we're getting ready to draw. So I'm going to make my minor contour current, and let's go to the computer. Now we're just going to estimate. And let me just kind of point this out. Okay, so I'm going to start on the very, so this would be the northwest side, this corner right up here in lot 7. And let me just kind of explain this. Now, so we figured out at the top corner I've got an elevation of 99.09. Down 100 feet I have a contour of 95.76. I know I've only got 8 feet of drop in this, so I'm going to use a 1 foot contour interval. So let's figure out where a contour would go. So I'm going to draw a line that represents where 100 feet is, where 99 feet is, 98 feet, 97 feet, 96. So let me ask you this, between this number, this is greater than 99, right? To this number, which is less than 96, how many contour lines am I going to have in here? I want 1 per foot. Keep going.
From where to where?
From here to here, how many contour lines if I put one line to represent every even foot? And put one right about there, which is my 99 contour, right? Because I know this is higher than this. So the 99's got to sit below 99.09, right? Okay. Right here, I can come in and draw one. What's this one? 96. Okay. What do I need evenly spaced in here? Where this distance is the same. Okay. Does that make sense? I know this is 100 feet, so I'm going to figure this one's here, so I know that I'm 30 feet, 30 feet, 30 feet. 33 feet, actually. Okay, so I know on this side, I've got one every 30 feet or so. Now this is kind of a little ridge running down the middle. Just estimate these, folks. So what I'm going to do here, and use a P line. Don't use a line here. Use a P line. Okay. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to draw my 99 contour. So take your snaps off, and first I'm going to draw it. Now, I'm 99, so I'm there, and all I'm going to do is kind of estimate this. Now this rise is about a foot, right? So that's at the 100. So it's going to come something like this. And we come across, I would say something like that. I'm just going to digitize that line across there, and I'm just guessing. If you want, you can do an offset of, the 30 feet or whatever. But these are going to be uniform. I'm then going to just copy that from here, and I'm going to kind of follow that property line, and I'm going to copy it 30 feet. And then 60 feet. Oh, about 60, that's like 60 inches. That guy's gone. Okay, so I've got those 3 lines on there. Let me copy one more for the 96 elevation. It use feet that. You could use the offset command, actually. You don't need to use copy. Just do an offset at 30 feet and shoot that thing down there. And shoot it through the whole property. Now, I'm going to delete everything below my 96, but you folks will have more data down there. Let's just do the first 4. All right, so everybody got those offset around? Now we're going to optimize it. These are representing 1 feet. I like this where I'm coming in, there's my 100 feet, there's 99. When I get to this bottom edge down here, so let me go to the south, it'd be what, the southwest corner, right here. Now, where's this one? I've got 103 feet down here. So do I need another contour line? That's above 100 feet, isn't it? So yes, I do. And I know that 100 feet goes right through that point up there because I'm calling it that. So I do need one more line in here to represent my 100 feet. And again, I'm going to use a P line. Make sure your snaps are off. Now this is only 0.3, about 4 inches over. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it from there and right up into this corner. Now I'm going to switch the layer on that to my major contour. Okay. because that's a 100-foot line. Let's switch on my property lines so I don't confuse you by those. Okay, you good? All right, let's go ahead and move on. Now, what we now need to do is check it against our data. Because we know it's good along this side. Is it good here? Remember, this is the 96. Well, what do I got as an elevation right here? That's where the survey instrument's at. It's 97. So my 96, does it sit below it? Okay. My 97 is lower than that. Does it sit below that point? Yes or no? Is 97 lower or higher than 97.41? It's lower. Okay, so where does this topo line need to go? Need to go down here. Okay. So now I'm just going to adjust these real quick. Okay, so I'm basically just going to grab this, and I'm going to move this point down a little bit. I'll grab this one, move it down a little bit. And remember, they're uniform somewhat, so this one's probably going to move also, and this one's going to move so also. Okay. I'm just going to move them. This is we're not going to do the math today. Mostly because I want to get done with this before Christmas. We're just going to estimate them. Okay. Now that's kind of following my data. Am I okay down here? Yeah, I'm perfect. There's your contour right there. Now if you take this one and offset it down, it's going to work for all your numbers. I can tell you that right now. It's going to work. The last thing you want to do with this. Are topo lines smooth? If you still got that figure open, are they jagged or are they smooth? Smooth. Okay, that's why we use P lines. Because when I'm editing a P line, I have a lot of options like add vertex, right? Okay. So if I want that to be a little smoother, I can just come in here and say, you know what, I think I need a point right here, so I'll add another vertex, whatever the case. We also have the fit option, right? So if I fit that, it now looks like a topo line. So I can grab each one of these, hit F, and fit them to a curve. Okay, there's kind of my topo line. Now, they're not kind of joining up here, so let me just kind of real quickly grab this one. Let's do, how about, I think I need to add. If I'm going to add one, you got to decurve it, right? So decurve, grab this, add vertex. I kind of want it to match up with this guy, right? And I'm just going to move that one right over there. And then we'll put that back to it. There, now I'm starting to see that little ridge develop. All right, that's pretty good. Last thing, you need to label your major contours. Okay. So what I'm going to do on this is I'm just going to put a little piece of M text, because this is my 100 footer, right? So I'm going to grab a little piece of text, I'm going to put 100, that's going to go on my text layer. and then just rotate it to line up somewhat with the contour line, and just kind of estimate it. So I'm going to put it there. I'm going to use background mask. And I'm going to set it over the line. I want that box as small as I can get it. Okay? And it's going to look just like that. Now, if I've got one that stretches the whole property, like I don't know, let me say this one's the 95. Okay, so once I've got one, I'm pretty much good. So I'm going to grab this guy, pull it out. I'm going to make this a 95. We'll move that in. And again, you want to kind of rotate these so they line up with the contour. And just eyeball it, you're good. I'll put it there. And I'm just going to copy this. Put them every so often. I'm not going to put one there, I'll put one out here. So it looks like such. So when you get the next one, your 95, you're going to label it. It'll come just like that. And then the next one. And the next one. I think you're only going to have two contours you label here. You got the 100 and the 95. I don't think you ever get down to 90. That is all of your elevation control for this property. Now, what can this tell us? Do we need a structure on here? We're going to do one last thing and then we're stopping for the day. All right, so I'm going to come back over here and I am going to get my roof plan. That's in essence the drawing you need. You should bring the deck with it, by the way. So let me put my deck on here. Need to copy it. Okay, so all I'm going to do is do a copy on this character, and we are throwing it now on that site plan. Where the heck is it? There it is. Now, where's it going to go? It's going to go somewhere right in here, right? And I kind of want my driveway a little bit faced up. So I'll say something like that. And I got to get off that electrical cable, so it's going to be somewhere right in here. And now I do not want my topo lines over this. Okay. So there's my structure. So I know my finished floor. I mean, just kind of think about this for tomorrow. My finished floor of this is 100 feet. What's the elevation right there? 97.41. I've got 2.5 feet to get up. How big is our floor setting? I talked about this yesterday, from our floor down to the soil is what? 20 inches. This is almost perfect. What's 2.5 feet? That's 30 inches, right? So I'm going to have about 6'10". I'm going to have about 16 inches on my basement. I'm getting all that information right here off this topo map. So what does that tell me? Okay, I'm going to be able to take all that information, and when I come back over here to these elevations, okay, remember when we drew this line in? Right here? Okay. Well, it's actually down a little bit further. If my soil's down now, I can figure out exactly how far down it is because I got the site plan with the elevation controls on it. Another thing to think about, and again, I'm correlating these two views back. Before I go back over, let me just show you this. What happens right here? Do I need to have soil right here? This is my basement, where I walk out my basement.
You're dug down, you're on the
This needs to be my soil level down in the basement, right? Okay. Let me go back to that site plan. That's right there, right? Okay. Well, if my finished floor is elevation 100, am I down to here, right here? That's a 95. No, I'm not.
100 way back here.
I'm 5 feet, I got 5 feet of soil over the top of my back to this. House is gonna have to go up. Just think about it, as you go ahead and finish putting this together, okay? Kind of work on it a little bit more. This took way longer than I thought it would, but that's okay. We're not gonna get stairs today. We'll do it tomorrow.